students keep on choosing courses that have integration or AI integration into them? Like, is it going to benefit them in the long run?
I think it all depends. It depends on how this AI craze will go on, for how long it will go on. In my eyes, I think companies will see that there is little to no benefit in replacing humans with AI. How can you manage people if you don't have those soft skills, right? Are you going to ask ChatGPT and Claude every time you need to take a decision? That's not how things work, right?
Hi guys, I'm Pragati and I'm your host for today's ThoughtCast. We have a very special guest with us from the University of Reading in the UK, Dr. Giannis. He is an assistant professor at the university. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm really well, thank you. Thanks for the invite as well.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Giannis. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Reading. I teach Introduction to Machine Learning and Business Application Development at the undergrad level. I'm also the admissions tutor for the informatics suite of master programs and the program director for applied AI in business.
What are the opportunities that are available in your field right now?
So I think right now the highest applied course is applied AI in businesses. You can see that every company do require some sort of AI skills. People use AI tools, so it's to no surprise to anyone that AI is the main driver for the current cohort.
So what advice would you give to students who are, selecting courses between all of these AI? There are a lot of courses out there when it concerns to AI. So what would be the right course for the student? Like, what would be your advice if they are selecting a course for themselves?
I think I wouldn't rush them into making any decision to either go with AI or not AI courses. The idea behind the masters is to provide you with the knowledge and the employability. Of course, someone rightly would assume that having a master's in AI will make you more employable. I will say definitely make you at a certain level, not like by a huge factor, but a student might want to be interested and enjoy the master they will choose, or they have to play with their strengths, right? So I think every student is different. Students that do feel that they will perform good in a more technical master, steer them towards applied AI in businesses. Those students that want, let's say, because our courses are what you call conversion courses as well, and the students that want to go into business management, digital innovation and digital business analytics are like two great programs as well. So yeah, my take on this is if you are a bit more into the technical details and really do want to do AI stuff, choose the applied AI. If you like data analysis, go with the data analytics. If you feel like you want to do a pivot in your career and look at how businesses evolve within the digital world, go for digital innovation.
So, like you said that you talked about applied AI, you talked about different types of AI, but even beyond that, should students keep on choosing courses that have integration or AI integration into them? Like, is it going to benefit them in the long run?
I think it all depends. It depends on how this AI craze will go on, for how long it will go on. In my eyes, I think companies will see that there is little to no benefit in replacing humans with AI, because the truth right now is that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to see to what extent we can replace employees with an AI agent or AI tools. I think within the next few years, companies will realize that low-level employees slowly become mid and senior level employees, whereas an AI tool can never become like that. So they will see the need for, attracting human talent as before. Also, like you can see that now that we live in such an interconnected world, like world politics play a role as well. Like if the overall environment is not geared towards economic growth, then this might mean that there are fewer or more opportunities if we turn to economic growth. it's all very fluid, as you can see, right? So that's another great topic as well. But yeah,
So, this is just the student selecting a course. But what are the common mistakes that they make? Like, because AI is just not one thing. There is a lot of things that
yeah,
you yourself
yeah,
handle with machine learning and NLP
yeah,
and all of
yeah,
the things.
yeah.
So, what are the common mistakes that they are making right now?
I think like the most common mistake, not an Indian but an international student makes, is that they think just by coming to the UK and getting a degree, they have an edge over the competition. That's not the case. As we will talk about becoming what they call in the UK employable, like in the sense of becoming a better candidate than the competition when you want to a certain position. It's all about you as a person, the effort you put in, your marks in your degree, the consultation, the career preparation you will do, the proactiveness in you, and then it's about your degree. Or if you want, place them all in the equal scale and say all these factors at the same level, right? So that's the most common misconception. A student thinks because I have a master's from a UK, I'm like immediately 5 jobs like will be waiting for me or something like that. That's not the case.
So, I mean, you yourself have immigrated from Greece to UK for
Yeah.
education.
No, for my first post-education, post-PhD role, yeah.
Okay, so considering you are also an immigrant in the UK,
Yeah,
what
correct.
advice would you give to students, like not just Indian, but to any student who's planning to study abroad?
Uh, you have to adapt, like it's going to be a completely new situation. I know like family plays a role, like who doesn't love their family. The weather, I'll be straightforward, it's pretty much awful compared to India and Greece. It's going to be a lot of rain, it's going to be a lot of overcast. The colors you see in the UK are more like gray shades, but nonetheless, it will give you the opportunities to advance your life. Like my goal in life was always to have a family, for example. If I stayed in Greece, like I wouldn't be able to own a home, I wouldn't be able to own like a car. I wouldn't like the opportunities in Greece are very limited. So I can only imagine that the opportunities in India are equally limited, or even more so, given like the numbers that live here. Yeah.
That considering that you do a lot of research into AI, what are the major concerns that students should have when they are working with AI? Like there is a lot of concerns about being too AI dependent. What are the other issues that students should take care of? Because this is going to be very strongly dependent on them getting a job. Because if they are completely dependent on AI, it's really going to harm how they because they won't build any skill, right? So what are the other mistakes apart from this that they should avoid making?
I think, as you aptly said, everything stems from that one. So everything that happens with the excessive use of AI tools, which is like over reliance, as you say, erosion of skills, illusion of understanding, all these stem from the fact that people use AI for everything with no thought, with no skill development. But again, like this ties really well to your previous question: what should the student do when coming to the UK? Build up their skills, like, and a lot of students don't really understand that just by being on an international environment, they're building up their skills, communication skills, social skills, right? All these soft skills are still important. Like within any business management setting, you will manage people. How can you manage people if you don't have those soft skills, right? Are you going to ask ChatGPT and Claude every time you need to take a decision? That's not how things work, right? So, and even if you do that, and like the decision is wrong, right? When the decision is yours, you need to adapt and learn by your mistakes, and this learning improves yourself. If you skip that part, is as you said, like no skill is being developed.
So, beyond all of this, what makes a student strong enough or good enough to find a job in the UK? Because there's a huge competition, and with the AI, the companies are constantly cutting out jobs. So, what will make them, one of the strongest competitors in the market?
That's again a multifaceted question. Like, there is not a single thing that I can tell you will make you like the ideal candidate for every job, right? Uh, it's parts of small improvements you can make. I'll give you an example. Yesterday we were in Delhi in an event, and our careers consultant Nilam Kaul asked the audience, how many pages is your CV? Most of the Indians raised their hand, 2 pages, 3 pages. Some people had a 4-page CV. The average time an employer looks at CV is 7 seconds. So you can't have more than 1 page. That's one point. Improve your CV. UK to India is quite different. So you have to adapt to that. How can you adapt to that? Our careers consultation team is there for you. It's a free service. Of course, it's optional. Again, which an Indian or a Greek, we have family very high. We live like with our parents. They take care of us, cleaning, food, our needs. When you come to the UK, you're on your own. You will have to take care of yourself. Consultation team will tell you do X, Y, Z, and you will have to actually do something. Right? They won't do everything for you. They won't iron out your CV. They won't write your cover letter, but they will happily guide you towards the right direction. You have to put the effort. Putting the effort in everything. Your CV, your application, your presentation, if you get into an interview, right? What we call proactiveness. Be ready about the interview, okay? So you apply for a job, read about the company, read about the competitors, read about the role. Be ready for the salary negotiation if you get the post. And third, the mark. So a lot of Indian students, English literacy is quite high, computer literacy is quite high in India. That's why like you have a lot of service centers. People are really good with computers. You are being taught at secondary level to everyone, I think, here. So in your bachelor, you do really well. Why is it that when you come over and do your masters, you stop trying? Your mark will set you apart from the competition, right? Yeah. So most of the students get between 58 and 65. That's not enough to set you apart, right? More so as economic immigrants, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have to be like a level ahead. And I'm not saying more so as economic immigrants from a standpoint that someone that's local has more opportunities. Is that someone who is local is better at communication, right? Better at social skills. So we're losing there. Where are we gonna, take up the extra ground and move ahead of them? You know, that's what they need to do. So careful career planning, your mark,
okay,
and proactiveness, and that's it.
So, like you mentioned that there is a specific interest in courses in Indian students. Like they specifically target a course like, okay, this is what's trending and this is what I'm going to study outside the UK. And they constantly search for course placements within the universities. So my question is that should they limit themselves to just the course placements within the universities, or should they pursue a course that will give them the course placements as well as open them for newer options?
I'm not really aware of the market, to be honest. I don't really look what's happening outside of Reading that much. Placements in the UK for international students, unless the degree actually stipulates that you will be given a placement, I would say they're like a really rare occurrence, right? Now, if there is, let's say, a master's that has a guaranteed placement place, like I would still need to know which sort of universities offer that, because some of you, like Henley Business School is a top business school, right? We don't feel the need that we need to attract students by, providing placements. I don't want to really, look at the competition from above or anything, but if a lesser known university offers a placement position, it's because the overall value of the degree might not be as high as from Henley Business School. That's my, my thought, but I don't know the competition. I might be completely wrong on that one.
So you mentioned that the companies are going to hire back the humans. Like right now,
Yeah.
they
That's
are.
what that's my personal opinion, right? Like, doesn't mean it will happen.
No, I quite agree with it because there has been a trend of companies firing a lot of developers and then hiring them back. So the job market is just jumping up and down, up and down, up and down. So my question is that what is your opinion on this? I mean, like beyond that, the humans are going to come back because this is kind of like the dot-com bubble.
Yeah,
Everybody said that
yeah,
the humans are going to get replaced, and suddenly there were millions of jobs.
yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen with AI?
I think like it has some similarities with dot-com bubble and some differences. Like one of the similarities is that every company wants, and some of them do AI in the sense like, what do I mean by wants to do and does AI? So not every company owns data centers. A lot of companies simply use a service from another provider. Like some companies are using ChatGPT, are using Claude. I think there is a sense that most of the companies at this stage are overvalued, more so AI focused companies. Uh, it all depends, to be honest. Like there will be a point. Like we saw that with OpenAI. OpenAI recently said that Sora, their video generator, will stop.
Yeah.
That they're not gonna stop it because it's not good. It's good for what it's worth. It's just that it's very expensive computationally, and now the investors are not really happy on spending billions or billions on OpenAI. So I think at some point in the future, investors will not be happy to spend that much money on AI, and that is going to be the tipping point where like we will see a slowly, not like a complete stop, but like slower growth of the number of data centers that pop around the world, and then like companies will be like, you know what, it's a nice assistive tool to have, but it's not enough to replace humans.
I mean, apart from that, it's extremely expensive.
Oh,
And of
definitely. Like
course,
it's not only a matter of expenditure. It's also a matter of environment. Like few years ago, we cared about our carbon emissions, and
Yeah.
now we are using so much water and electricity to power up data centers. And like the overall point is what? Like so people can go in and use it instead of a search engine. Like if you use a search engine, you actually use 1% of the energy you would use on an AI query. Why are we allowing that? But that's another, like, it's a good point, because a lot of young people, they feel like, you know what, how things are currently are, will feel like that we've been sidelined. But the reality is that our governments are failing us, are failing in the sense they need to catch up with the technology. They need to put fail stops. They need to demand that no more data centers will be built. Like what in the UK, for example, again, this is my personal opinion, right? I really advise the audience to critically analyze everything I say, okay, and look it up online. In the UK, they seem to be happy for more data centers, but data centers, it's not like something that drives growth, like what drives growth is a new manufacturing plant. New apartment blocks, they don't drive growth. They will be like a short, like, let's say 2 year time, they will be building on. They will have builders, they will have materials, but then it's built, it's done. Data centers are pretty much the same. We build them, we can have like very few technicians on site, addressing any technical issue, maybe upgrading the systems every one or so, but that's it. There's not going to be any growth from them. So I think like governments should be like more active in that situation as well.
so it's quite interesting, giving your opinions on AI, considering you are one of the AI researchers. So, what would your advice be in this kind of scenario? Because apart from the governments not having any fail stops right now,
Yeah.
what would you advise to the people?
I think my main advice is to not pay for AI tools. Not because by being active, I am active subscriber on one of them, and I feel really bad about it. By actively using the service, we promote its use. Like feel free to use the free tools you find online, but don't actively have a subscription on them.
So, like you have a very different opinion on AI. The market has a very different
Yeah.
opinion on AI. So there is not a lot of stable predictions. Like there are predictions in the market, but in this case, that's not it. So, what would you advise to students about the future of the job market? Because there are a lot of students who are planning to study, and in times of economic stability, it's been observed
Yeah.
that students prefer to go to study than to work in the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at a certain point, these students are going to pass out and get into the job market.
Yeah.
So, what would your advice be to them?
I think a person that was doing the proper things to get employed 10 years ago, if they do the same things today, they will be employed. Yes, it might take a bit more time because jobs are fewer, but the same qualities that would get you employed 10, 20 years ago will get you employed today. So if you are a student that does their work at home before they apply for a job, that pays attention to what they're doing, they don't like offload everything to AI tools. They build their curriculum, they build their image, their selling points, they build the social skills like I talk about communication, but my accent is very thick Greek, right? Like, but I'm an academic now. Like, I don't have selling points, I don't really need them. But like communication skills, social skills, they all come across to the interviewer. If you are well prepared, it will come across to the interviewer. I know it might be a bit harder now with all the AI tools in between to get us through to the interview stage, but exactly the same qualities that would get you in the past will still work in the future. Because we are humans, we will always be communicating. Sometimes, things change. We used to communicate face to face. We now have a bit of social media interactions, but still see how, like, after these 30 years, we still do interviews face by face because that's what matters. When you go within a business, it's not your avatar that will go in and you'll be greeted by other. It's you that will have to go in. You will have to fit with a team of people you never seen before in your life. Your adaptability will play a role, right? How fast are you going to be able to adapt? You will be in a team and you will be asked to do tasks that might seem different from one another. How flexible are you in adjusting to those needs?
You mentioned that about human touch, human interactions. Do you think that there could be a capitalization of this thing, given if AI grows at a very rapid pace, if the growth does not slow down? Do you think there is going to be a capitalization of the human personal touches? Because right now, that the trends that is observed is usually that people want the human touch. They are hiring people back just so there would be a
Oh,
human touch.
definitely, yeah. Like another interesting topic about technology, like I'm probably the last generation that I actually went to the library to look information. So I had to physically go into the building, ask the librarian, where is that book, where is that section, and go and pick the book up. Back then, before Wikipedia, let's say, we thought Wikipedia is the thing. Like everyone's going to be knowledgeable. We're all going to be like better critical thinkers. We're going to take better decisions, both like in our everyday lives, in voting our best possible politicians. But it didn't change much, right? Like people are pretty much the same as before. And then we had social media and we thought like, oh, you know what, this will allow me to connect with other people but it didn't change much again. Like people were people, and not only didn't change much, but it changed things in a bad way as well, right? Like people become more distant to one another. I'm reading that young people are really bad at forming relationships, friendly or romantically relationships, right? Like, why is that? That's, again, this is not because a lot of weight is being put on shoulders of young people, right? This is not because of you and because of, I'm not young anymore, like I can't say us, right? So it's not because of you, it's because our governments failed to keep up with the times. Only now in the UK they will make social media illegal for under 18. We know that exposure to internet at a young age has a direct link to how well that kid will perform academically. And when I talk academically, I don't only speak about university, primary, secondary, and then university. We know that these things have a bad effect on human education. Why did the governments never acted upon them? You see, so they like, there are things that, people might feel, oh, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault. Like, how many times have we caught ourselves doom scrolling? It's not our fault that we use social media. It's their fault for making it so addictive, because they know what we want. And it's our government's fault for allowing it to become addictive. Same with YouTube. Remember YouTube, it had no ads. Then it had some ads. Then it had, instead of ads, they had promoted products. It took some time for European legislation to require YouTube to put a disclaimer. This is promoted by X company, right? In the meantime, people were happy. Same will happen with AI tools. I think OpenAI said they will actively start promoting products. So marketing teams, will flock into the platform, pay some money, and whenever you ask, what's the best phone I can buy, it will give you something promoted. How fast will the legislation require AI companies to disclose that this is a promoted generation of text? You see what I mean? I think the capitalization already happens in some countries where people are even more distant. I think there are some Asian cultures like Japan where human relationships were already hard to form because of the culture. It's not a good thing, certainly. But all we can do as consumers, as users, because let's face it, we are being born into a very consumeristic world. I was coming into the airport. The first airport I landed was Mumbai, and I was just driving on the motorway, and there were 1,000 billboards on the side showing me ads every day. So and it's on an act that I didn't want to see any ads, right? You know what I mean? Thankfully in Europe we don't have billboards on the sides of the roads, but still we have ads in every other single place. So we are born consumers. We are consumers. I love technology. I love electric cars. I love mobile phones. I love smartwatches. I love upgrading my computer every 2 years and stuff like that. But I'm also, conscious that I shouldn't be spending money on a new phone every single year. I shouldn't be upgrading my watch every single year. I shouldn't use an AI subscription every single month. You know what I mean? Always be let's call it an educated consumer, okay?
Conscious consumerism.
Yeah. Because it's really hard to not consume anything. We can't live in a cave, and
So what advice can you give our viewers that you give to your students?
I know a lot of students care about employment. My number one advice is be confident. When you go to an interview, and of course that's to a level of an interview, right? I think before that, as we said, be proactive, put the effort. A lot of people online, you see some articles and say, oh, I have applied to 500 jobs in the last week. How did you have time to apply for 500 jobs? Because if you did it through Claude, I wouldn't count those as applications, That's zero effort. Everyone will do that. The recruiter will have thousands of AI generated CVs. You can guess where your application will end up, right? So let's say that you were proactive, you were prepared, and you landed an interview. So going into the interview, the only thing that plays a role is confidence. What do Americans say? Walk into the place like you own it, right? These come across to the interviewer, right? Some people are able to fake confidence and be like, you know what? I'm the guy you want. I know everything about AI, about machine learning, about NLP, about AI agents. I've done LangChain before, and they might not have done it. And I'm happy about you. This is the private sector. Everyone's competitive. Everyone might lie a bit. It's fine. You get your job. I'm happy for you because my students, I feel them as my academic kids. I want them to succeed in their lives. I know that in order to succeed these days, income plays a role. They need some income. So please go ahead. If you can lie your way into a job, by all means go. Most of us, unfortunately, we can't fake confidence. We need some knowledge, some foundational knowledge, or some experience to like project that confidence to our interviewers. So my key advice is that you can only build that confidence if you are really knowledgeable on a topic. You will never be knowledgeable on a topic if you go to ChatGPT and Claude and all those tools, and every time you have a difficulty in actually trying to learn something, you ask the AI tool to provide you with a simple, concept of what that was, right? That creates the illusion of understanding, and this will come across in an interview as well.
Okay. So thank you so much for having this conversation with us.
No worries. Thank
we
you for inviting me again. It was a lovely.
We hope to have you here again. Thank you for tuning into today's ThoughtCast episode. We hope to see you again. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.